Listen, the world doesn't care about your pain. It doesn't care about your dreams, your hopes, or your potential. It only respects power, and power doesn't come from kindness. It's forged in rejection, betrayal, and sleepless nights. You think people pity you? Number, they study you. They smell weakness like blood in the water. And when they do, they feed. This is the part no one told you. When you hit rock bottom, the crowd doesn't clap for your effort. They record your fall. They laugh. And the same ones who told you to be humble will mock you for losing. That's the jungle. And you've been walking like prey. You smile too much. You explain yourself too much. You love too deeply in a world that devours softness. But here's the truth. The world doesn't reward the nicest man. It rewards the one who can take a punch, bleed, and still move like nothing happened. That's the predator's path, where emotion becomes weapon and silence becomes strategy. There's a moment in every man's life where the light dies in his eyes. He realizes that nobody's coming to save him. Not his family, not his friends, not his faith. Only him, and the fire that refuses to go out. That's when the predator is born. Not when you win, but when you've lost everything that made you soft. The friends, the illusions, the comfort, all stripped away. You become something else, focused, empty, dead to distraction. Because when you've got nothing left to lose, you become unstoppable. You want to rise? Then stop explaining yourself. Stop trying to make people understand your heart. They don't care. They only understand results. They only respect dominance. They told you to be patient, didn't they? To trust the process? But that's the language of prey. Predators don't wait for permission. They move in silence, take what's theirs, and disappear before dawn. Every time you hold back, you feed someone else's hunger. Every time you doubt yourself, someone else grows stronger off your fear. And every time you forgive people who tried to break you, you train them how to hurt you again. This world doesn't want peace. It thrives on control, submission, and hierarchy. And if you don't learn how to command it, you'll be commanded. So you either play their game or you create your own. You want to be respected? Then become dangerous. Not violent, dangerous. The kind of man people think twice before lying to. The kind of presence that shifts a room when you walk in. You build that not by talking, but by doing. By outworking, outlasting, and outsmarting everyone who ever doubted you. They'll say you've changed. Good. Change is what happens when a man stops begging for mercy. They'll call you cold. Good. Because warmth is wasted on those who never gave it back. They'll call you selfish. Perfect. Because only the selfish survive in a world where everyone wants to use you. Every predator has scars. The difference is, he doesn't cry about them. He studies them. He remembers who gave them to him, and he uses them as fuel for the hunt. Pain is memory, and memory is power. You see, pain was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to sharpen you. You don't run from it. You live inside it until it bows to your will. That's the secret the weak will never understand. You can't heal by avoiding the darkness. You heal by walking through it, by staring the chaos in the face and saying, "Try me." Because once you've survived the fire, the smoke doesn't scare you anymore. That's when the underdog becomes the apex. Not when the world finally recognizes him, but when he no longer needs its recognition. You rise quietly, you speak less, you move differently. And suddenly the same ones who ignored you start whispering your name. They'll say, he's lucky. They'll say, he changed. But they'll never admit they built you. The hatred, the rejection, the betrayal, that was your gym. That was your battlefield. And now, every scar on your soul is proof that you refuse to die quietly. This is just the beginning. The predator doesn't roar at the start of the hunt. He waits. He watches. And when the timing is right, he strikes once. Clean, silent, final. That's how you take power in a world that worships weakness. And if you think this is cruel, it's because you've been fed comfort your whole life. They made you believe being nice would save you. It won't. Only strength does. And strength is earned through pain. They said you couldn't do it. They said you were too late, too slow, too broken, too small. And maybe for a while they were right. Because when you looked in the mirror, you didn't see power. You saw pain. You saw every scar, every failure, every no that cut into your soul. And you believed them. You believed the lies that the world told you, that some people were just meant to win, and you were not one of them. But that was before you understood the truth, before you realized that pain is not your enemy, that suffering is not your curse, it's your teacher. The underdog mentality begins when you stop asking, why me? And start whispering, try me. Because the moment you stop running from the fire and step into it, you become it. Every champion you've ever admired, every great soul, was once the person everyone doubted. Every legend was once the fool who refused to quit. They didn't rise because it was easy. They rose because they refused to die where they fell. The world loves an underdog story, but the world hates the underdog while he's still fighting. When you're grinding in silence, they'll laugh at you, doubt you, forget you. But one day, when your silence becomes thunder, they'll pretend they always believed. You don't owe them belief. You owe yourself the fight. There's a place deep inside you that no one sees. It's not in your muscles. It's not in your bank account. It's not in your followers. It's in your mind, the forge where your strength is born. Every time you push through fear, you heat the steel. Every time you fall and rise again, you hammer it into shape. And every time you choose discipline over comfort, you sharpen the blade. That's the mind forge. It's where the weak are melted and the strong are reborn. Most people never enter that place. They're too scared to face the heat. They spend their lives looking for comfort, not realizing that comfort kills growth. You are not one of them. You are the one who walks into the flame willingly. You are the one who says, let the pain shape me. You understand that soft minds create hard lives and hard minds create easy ones. That's why the underdog doesn't complain. He transforms. Every great transformation has a season of silence, when no one claps, when no one texts, when no one cares. When you wake up, grind, and go to bed, and the world moves on like you don't exist. But that's the season where the underdog becomes dangerous. Because while everyone's talking, you're building. While everyone's showing off, you're sharpening. And while everyone's chasing likes, you're chasing mastery. The silence is not punishment, it's preparation. When it's quiet, the mind becomes your weapon. You learn patience, you learn hunger, you learn control. And when your time comes, when you finally break out of the shadows, you don't just show up, you explode. The ones who laughed won't understand how, but you'll know, because you built yourself in a place where no one clapped. You built yourself in the silence. The greatest war is not with the world. It's with yourself. The lazy you, the fearful you, the doubtful you, the one who says, I'll do it tomorrow. That version of you is the real enemy. But the day you decide to fight that war, the day you stop negotiating with weakness, that's the day your new life begins. It's not about motivation anymore. It's about discipline. Motivation fades when it rains. Discipline trains in the storm. You'll have days when you want to quit, when your mind tells you it's over. But remember, the mind is not your master. It's your servant, and you must teach it who's in charge. Say this to yourself every morning. I am not afraid of the dark, because I am the fire that burns in it. There comes a moment when the pain stops feeling like punishment and starts feeling like progress. A moment when you realize that everything trying to destroy you was secretly training you. That's the turning point. That's when the underdog becomes something else entirely. Unbreakable. People think strength means never breaking, but real strength means breaking 1,000 times and rebuilding yourself stronger every single time. The truth is, no one is born unbreakable. You become unbreakable when you've been broken so many times that your spirit no longer fears the fall. You stop running from failure because you've already faced it. You stop fearing pain because pain has already carved your character. You stop chasing perfection because you've learned to love progress. That's when you see it, that being an underdog is not a curse. It's a calling. The underdog is not behind. He's just underground, planting roots while others chase the sky. When the storm comes, the shallow ones get washed away. But the rooted ones, they rise. Not because they were lucky, because they were patient. And patience is power disguised as stillness. Everybody wants success, but not everyone wants the grind that builds it. The grind is lonely, it's ugly, it's repetitive. It's waking up when your body screams, no. It's doing one more rep, one more line, one more try, when no one's watching. The grind is your test, because life doesn't test you when it's easy. It tests you when it's hard. It's the 4 a.m. moments that decide who you'll become. It's the silence before the applause. It's the 1,000 small sacrifices that no one ever praises. The grind isn't punishment. It's purification. It burns away your excuses, your softness, your ego. And what's left is steel. Steel that can bend but never break. So when people ask, how did you do it? You won't say much. You'll just smile. Because you know they'll never understand what you went through when no one was looking. Every scar you have, physical or invisible, is proof that you survived something that tried to end you. Scars are not ugly. They're stories written on your body by victory itself. Each one whispers, you didn't quit. People hide their scars because they think it makes them weak. But the underdog wears them like armor, because they remind him of what he's already overcome. You can take everything from a man, his job, his home, his reputation, but you can't take his scars. You can't take his lessons. You can't take what the fire taught him. So don't hate your scars. Trace them. Learn from them. Honor them. Because the scarred man doesn't fear pain anymore. He's already danced with it. This world doesn't care how bad you want it. It doesn't care about your dreams, your tears, your story. It's cold. It's unfair. It's ruthless. And that's exactly why you can't wait for sympathy. No one's coming to save you. No one owes you anything. The faster you accept that, the freer you become. Because when you stop expecting the world to be fair, you stop wasting energy on anger. You start using it for growth. You see, the underdog doesn't fight for recognition. He fights for transformation. He doesn't beg for a seat at the table. He builds his own table. You don't need validation. You need vision. Because once you know where you're going, no one can stop you. The world might not owe you, but you owe yourself everything. Silence is not weakness. It's control. When you learn to sit in silence, you learn to listen, not to others, but to yourself. In silence, you hear your fears whisper. You hear your doubts argue, but you also hear your soul, steady, calm, unshaken. That voice inside you, that's the real you. And once you find it, no noise in the world can drown it out again. The loudest one in the room isn't the strongest. The calmest one is. Because the calm mind can see clearly when chaos hits. And the underdog knows. The real battles are won in silence, long before the world ever sees the result. There's a moment in every underdog's life when the pain, the rejection, the grind, the isolation, they stop feeling like punishment. You wake up one day and realize you're not surviving anymore. You're evolving. You start walking differently, speaking differently, thinking differently. You stop begging the world to understand you. You stop explaining your vision to people who don't have one. You start realizing that you don't need permission, you need persistence. And from that day forward, you move like a storm, silent, powerful, inevitable. Because now you understand, the world doesn't hand power to you. You take it by earning it, by bleeding for it, by forging it in the dark.